welcome back to this channel. I am Merete and this is Hikkadua Guide. Today I'm bringing you some big news because the airport now is opening in Sri Lanka for all tourists on January 23. And of course there is some strict rules and regulation in place to make sure people are safe, both the tourists and people here in Sri Lanka. So I will go through this in this video. The main thing that are keeping people a little bit worried is that people need to go through 4 PCR tests and they can only stay in specially designated hotels, so-called safe and secure certified level 1 hotels for the first 14 days. I will explain all about that later. First of all, I just want to say the rules are quite strict now when I'm recording this in January 21. But I am positive that the rules will ease a bit when we see that the COVID-19 situation around the world gets more under control and more people will get vaccinated. And definitely before the winter season, November, December 2021, I'm sure the rules will be quite different from this. And I will keep you all updated on this channel, Hikkadua Guide, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and also press the bell, then you get a notification when I upload a new video about this. Okay, now I will dive into the guidelines and protocols that are valid right now in January 21. And all this information I have found through this official webpage, www.srilankatravel. You will find that link in the description. And in this webpage you find 3 important links. The first is the Ministry of Health guidelines for airport opening on January 23rd, 2021. And then you find the Safe and Secure Certified Tourism Service Providers. And third, you find the Sri Lanka Tourism Operational Guidelines with health protocols. So let's start with that last one. That's a huge PDF file, 79 pages long. It's mainly like a document for reference for the hotels and the tourist providers in Sri Lanka. The content you can see: Chapter 1, entry procedure to country; Chapter 2, procedure at the airport, airport transfers, accommodation sector; Chapter 4 is important for all the hotel and guest houses; and Chapter 5, other tourist facilities and services; Chapter 6, all the travel agent, tour operators and tour crews; and then the sites, attraction, and then the government roles, the provincial councils, responsibility of security personnel and tourist police, and last, departure of the airport. As I mentioned in the beginning, you can only stay at the safe and secure certified hotels for the first 14 days of your stay. So if you follow this link, you will find a list of the hotels that are certified. You can here search by place or alphabetically. In my next video, I will give more information on the safe and secure certified hotels here in Hikkadua. So I will put a link to that one here when it's ready. But for now, I will jump over to the most important right now in January, and that is this one, the Ministry of Health guidelines for airport opening. So just to be clear again, these are the rules that are now valid from the start of this process, January 23, when the airport opens. If you watch this video later in the year, the rules might have changed. Hopefully they have changed a bit. So check out in the description if there's any updates you should know about. But these are the rules right now when I'm recording. So before you even travel, there is 4 important things. First, the visa. There will be no visa on arrival issued for any nationalities. Everyone needs to apply for the visa online. I will put a link to the correct page, the government page, in the description. I'm just worried it's about to rain. Let's try. Yes, the visa. Secondly, you need to pre-book your hotel before you travel. And as I mentioned in the beginning, it needs to be in one of those safe and secure level 1 hotels. Number 3, you need a special medical insurance that will cover the COVID-19 for at least 1 month. And you need a PCR test taken 96 hours before arriving Sri Lanka. That's of course negative. And then when you arrive in Sri Lanka, that is when you have to do the second PCR test. And your hotel that you're staying at, they will arrange the transport for you from the airport to that safe and secure hotel, and they also will help you with the testing procedures when you are in Sri Lanka. So the hotels actually have a quite big responsibility to follow these regulations. And of course there will be no mixing of groups in this transport. So during your stay in Sri Lanka, what will it be like? You will stay in one of these nice hotels. They are safe and secure certified, level 1. They are really nice hotels, all of them, so you will definitely have a comfortable stay. And within the first 2 weeks you need to take those 2 more tests. After 5 to 7 days there is one test, and then again after 10 to 14 days. And then the general rule is that you as a tourist, you are not allowed to leave that hotel. You have to stay there those first 14 days. However, there are some exceptions. You can travel to some of the main sites of Sri Lanka. It will be a biosecure bubble travel. I tried to search more and find more information on exactly what that means. What I think is that they will take a group, the same group that travel together. They can go to the sites at that time. For example, let's say Sigiriya. You go there, that time it will be closed for other locals, so it will be only that group. Second exception, you can also move to other certified hotels during the first 14 days also, but again in that safe and secure bubble travel. And as I mentioned, these 2 PCR tests after arrival, they will be arranged by the hotel and by a private sector laboratory, and results will be mailed to the authority. You will have to fill out forms for every hotel you check into and everywhere you go, and the government will kind of track you wherever you go, so if there is a virus outbreak they will be able to track it. And should the worst happen, that one of your PCR tests are positive, you will be immediately transported to a private hospital where you will receive treatment. And that's where the insurance is important, of course, because that expense will be paid by your insurance company. After those 2 weeks, if that last PCR test is negative, of course, you are allowed to interact with the community. You can move to other hotels and you can visit sites. It says in the protocol that use of public transport is discouraged. That means not illegal, but not recommended. And of course, please follow all safety measures you can. Wear a mask, wash your hands and sanitizers, and keep your distance 1 meter. Don't go into crowds or parties, and try to be as careful as you can. So that's a lot of rules and regulation. What do you think? I would really like to hear from you. Please comment below. Do you think these rules are enough to keep the people of Sri Lanka safe? Do you think the rules are too strict? Comment below. So in my opinion, the rules are really strict. But I can understand why they are, because the most important, of course, is to keep the people of Sri Lanka safe. And vaccination has not even started here. The Sri Lankan government, they cannot afford to vaccinate the whole 100% of the population like some countries are planning in Europe. They don't have the money to buy vaccination. They are now talking about loans or getting help from the World Bank, or So that's why the rules are strict now, since the situation in Europe is definitely not under control. And I also understand the reason why they want to open the borders again, because tourism is really needed in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka economy is depending on tourism, so it's really important to start it. Then they can see how it goes with those first visitors for a couple of months, and then hopefully things go well and they can ease up the rules a bit. So as it is now, most people will not go through this for a 2 weeks holiday. So I think this is mainly to get long-term tourists to come to Sri Lanka. Maybe you go through this regime for 2 weeks and then you are free to go to a private villa or nice guest house, or you can stay and live more freely in Sri Lanka. And the government is also working for getting an easier process to get 6-month visa. So if you are ready for a long-term stay in Sri Lanka, this could be very interesting for you. You will find the most beautiful beaches and so many amazing sights without any crowds now. So this is a good chance for you to come. You are welcome.